Thank you, Dimam. This is my report on Chapter 6, the Tourism Public Sector. So, the responsibility of government in developing organization, promoting its tourism industry is of primary importance to the Philippines. In order for the government to be more effective, partnerships with the private sector need to be fostered and cooperation from local communities need to be worked on. And the next is the learning objectives. Identify the various government agencies involved in the development and promotion of the tourism industry as well as their functions. Describe the relationship of this agency with one another. Explain the possibility of public service as a career in industry.
In 1973, the Philippine government recognized the need of trade promotion and tourism development, leading to creation of the Department of Tourism. This department aimed to promote national development and appreciation of the Philippines' national beauty, history, and culture. The chapter covers government agencies and involving in tourism promotion and allied agencies contributing to the efficient operations.
So next is the Department of Tourism. So the Department of Tourism was created by virtue of Presidential Decree number 189. It is a primary policy making, planning and programming, coordinating and administrative with the exclusive branch of government in the development of tourism and industry, both domestic and international. So next is the Philippine Tourism Authority. Presidential Decree 564 was changed, revising the character of the Philippine Tourism Authority, which was originally created under Presidential Decree number 189, date May 11, 1973. Strengthening the Philippine Tourism Authority was needed in order to be in a better position of effectively unify and integrity related to activities and service of both government and private entities pertaining to tourism and development projects. The next is Intramuros administration. For the 400 years, Intramuros was been a priceless heritage in the past for the city of Manila, a major historical landmark of the Philippines. In order to preserve and enhance the historical value of Intramuros, a national historical cushion program demands its restoration, development, and enhance, and for the purpose. Hence, Presidential Decree number 1616, creating the Intramuros administration created charged with such vital and role responsibility. Other government agencies. And the next is the National Parks Development Committee, or known as NPDC. The National Parks Development Committee was created originally as an executive committee on January 14, 1963 for the development of the Quezon Memorial, Luneta, and another national parks. It was later designated as the National Development Committee, or NPDC, despite an attempt to transfer it to the Bureau of Forest Development, Department of National Resources. The NPDC was remained under the office of the President. And next is the National Historical Institute, or IHI. Presidential Decree number 260 declared certain states, churches, and places as national shrines, monuments, or landmarks in 1973. The National Historical Institute, in collaboration with the Department of Tourism, is responsible for the preservation, restoration, and reconstruction. All donations to the institute are tax exempt and deductible. Next is the National Center for Culture and Arts, NCCA. Republic Act 7356 has been enacted in order to create a mandate of the National Center for the Culture and Arts. Its functions are as follows. First is the formulate policies for the development of culture and the arts. Second, to coordinate the implement of overall policies and program of attached agencies on the development of culture and arts, as stated under executive under order number 80. The third one is administrative. Administer the National Endowment Fund of Culture and Arts. The fourth one is encourage artistic creation within the a climate of architects' freedom, artistic freedom. The last one is the development and promote the Filipino national culture and arts, and preserve the Filipino culture heritage. And the next is the Philippine Convention and Visitors Corporation, PCBC. The Philippine Convention and Visitors Corporation is a non-profit corporation promoting the Philippines as an ideal tourism convention and travel destination. So the next is the Bangko Sentral of the Philippines, BSP. Presidential Decree number 520 issued on July 23, 1974. Empowers the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, promulgated Bangko Sentral of the Philippines, to organize a corporation which will be managed and administer the Philippine International Convention Center. Next is the National Economic Development Authority, NEDA. The National Economic Development Authority is the country's independent agencies for the economic development and planning, lead to the presidential vice chairman of the socio-economic planning. Its goal is to promote economic, social stability and can be consulted with private sector representatives for relevant advice. Next is the Philippine Initiative and Gaming Corporation, PAGCOR. The Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation is a government-owned corporation established under the Presidential Decree number 1869 in 1983. Its policy is to centralize and integrate all games for change, establish the corporation, clubs and casinos for amusement and recreation, and minimize corporation in gambling, clubs and casinos. PAGCOR is granted rights, privilege and authority to operate and maintain gaming, gambling casinos, clubs and other recreation places within the Philippines territory jurisdiction. So the next is the Department of Environment and National Resources, DENR. The Department of Environment and National Resources is the government agency responsible for conservation management and proper use of the Philippines environment and natural resources. It advised the President on the national resources, develop laws, implements government policies, and supervise exploration, development, and commercial activities.
So the next is the Department of Labor and Employment, o DOLE, the Department of Labor and Employment.
Enforce social and labor legislation to protect the working class, regulate employment relations, and ensure the safe working conditions, particularly for women and young workers. Next is the Department of Public Works and Highways, DPWH. The Department of Works and Highways is the government engineering and construction army, responsible for planning, design, and construction and maintenance for the infrastructure, including the national highways. The following are the attached agency of the DOT's Land Transportation Office, LTO, Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board, LFRB, Marine Industry Authority, or Marina, Air Transportation Office, ATO. Next is Civil Aeronautics Board, or CAB, Light Rail Transit Authority, or LTRA, or next is Metro Rail Transit Corporation, MRTC. Next is the National Railways, PNR. The last is the Department of Trade and Industry, DTI. And the next is the Board of Investment. The Board of Investment regulates and promotes investments in the Philippines under Omnibus Investment Code 198727. It is prepares an annual investment properties plan, permanent rules, improves regulations application, and decide controversies. The BOI recommends foreign nationals for employment, checks compliance, and can be cancelled registration or suspend benefits. Next is the Philippine Economic Zone Authority, PIZA. The Philippine Economic Zone Authority was established in 1994 to manage the special economic zones, industry estates, and explore process zones. Its goals is to transform areas to develop centers to promote investors flow and foster cooperation between the Philippines and industrial countries. PIZA provides incentives to developers explore, process, and IT service exploiters, includes the tax employment. And the next is the Department of Foreign Affairs, DFA. The Department of Foreign Affairs is the government agencies responsible for the Philippine foreign policy and foreign service. Established in 1898, it was created in 1946 by the Commonwealth Act number 732 and exclusive order for order number 18. The DFA's peak occur post-war as an international environment changes. The next is the Department of Interior and Local Government, DILG. The Department of Interior and Local Government in the Philippines is responsible for supervising local governments, advising on policies, establishing public order rules, providing legislative assistance, formulating agencies' plans, coordinating citizens and local executives, or organizing policies forces. So that's all, Mom. Thank you for listening. Once again, this is Glenn Balaba from BSHN 3B. Have a nice day.